Welcome to my YouTube channel Astha School Shivahar.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the students of class 8 of Astha Vidyaniketan. Again today, I am here in front of you to give you the online classes of Science Lesson 2. The lesson 2 is microbes 4 and 5. Student, microbes, first of all you should learn about that. Microbes, what do you mean by microbes? All those teeny organisms which cannot be seen by our naked eye, because they are so teeny, without beyond our imagination, that we cannot see by the naked eye, are called microbes. First of all, in 1677, a Dutch scientist was firstly invented this microbes under the observation of pond. The name was Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Anton van Leeuwenhoek. They have invented the microbes in 1677. And the branch of science that deals with the study about the microorganism is called microbiology, because it is the science of biology and it is the process of understanding about the microbes. So that is the branch of science in terms of biology which deals with the study about the microorganism, that is called microbiology. And the person, microbiologist, the person or the scientist which deals with the study about the microorganism are known as microbiologist. Microbiologist, the people who study about the microorganism, is called microbiologist. Microbes are generally are categorized into 5 groups. First, microbes are categorized into protozoa. After that, fungi, bacteria, protozoa, algae, fungi, bacteria, and virus. These are the 5 categories of microbes. Protozoa. These protozoas are unicellular. Unicellular, you have already learned about that. Unicellular means the organism have only one cell, and also you have learned that single cell is able to perform almost all the life processes, such as respiration, excretion, digestion, reproduction, etc. So these unicellular organisms, basically most of the microbes are unicellular, but some of them have multicellular structure. First of all, you should learn about that where these microbes are there. Means availability of microbes. Microbes are found everywhere in nature, in air, in water, in soil, in the surface of objects, and in living organism, inside the bodies of animals or over the plant. Means no any place in this world is said to be there is no microbe. Everywhere. Therefore, we need proper hygiene to save our life from different kinds of microbial infection. Microbial infections. Therefore, we can say in environment ranging from ice, very cold places, microbes are also present. Very hot places, even the vent of volcanic eruption, there is also the microbes present, and in desert also, and in marshy land also, there microbes present, or everywhere. After that, first of all, protozoa. It is found in everywhere. Basically, most of the protozoans are parasitic in nature. Some of them are saprophytic in nature. Parasitic, you have learned in the previous class. Parasitic are those animals which live under the body of living organism, are called parasitic. And saprophytic means the animal, the microorganism that grow over the dead and decayed part of the plants and animals are called bacteria. Bacteria, bacteria, they are rod shape. Rod shape may be this line, maybe this line, maybe that straight line wise. Different shapes are there. Rod like, spherical in this shape. They are spherical in shape. After that, they have heterotrophic and some are autotrophic. Blue-green algae. Blue-green algae are photosynthetic bacteria. Blue-green algae, a type of bacteria is there. They have green color, therefore they prepare their food. And they are bacteria, but looks like the plant. So we cannot confuse about that. They are microorganisms. And their general characters are, they do not show the characters of living organism or non-living organism. They need suitable environment at which they grow and develop. Protozoans, as you have learned, they eat their foods and they digest, they excrete, and they multiply their numbers in binary fission line. Therefore, some are parasitic. Amoeba, Giardia, Paramecium are the examples of protozoa, and bacteria are the green algae. Others are the bacteria. Algae. It is the Thalophytes, the plant-like unicellular, widespread, and mostly live in water. Few green grown on land. Very few algae are grown on land. Unlike bacteria, unicellular algae have distinct nucleus. They show the properties of plant, seaweeds, pond, and they are found on pond, sea, and whales are multicellular. They are seaweeds are multicellular, and their properties of algae, sometimes it shows like the plant, and most of the time they work like the unicellular organism. Fungi, they are non-green and basically saprophytic. Saprophytic, we have not learned that the animals which grow over the dead and decayed part of the plant. So fungi grown randomly at the dead and decayed part, thrown here and there, such that the husk of the wheat and paddy, cow dungs, and some food items left elsewhere without use. They all are present everywhere from desert to very cold, but they grow best in dark places. Fungi basically grow in dark places and moisture places. It is different sizes. Some are unicellular and some are multicellular. They do not have plant properties, but either saprophytic or parasitic. Yeast, mucor, or mushroom. These are the example of fungi. Now virus. Virus are the microscopic and most primitive type of organism known to man. They show the characteristics of living and non-living both. Virus, just you have seen the COVID-19 virus, coronavirus. You are looking at how harmful this virus is there. They do not have a cellular structure. No any structure are there. Cellular structure means either any shape, no any shape are there. They are in irregular shape and they have a structure. Since they have a strand of nuclear matter, DNA or RNA, they only made with the DNA and RNA. And since they have DNA and RNA surrounded by a protein capped, they multiply only in host cell. Only in host cell by a resument from host, by nourishment of host. You have already, everyone have some microorganism in them. When the outside foreign invader come as the virus, they started to digest our internal nourishment, and over which they depends and they started to multiply. After that, these microorganisms are not only our enemies or foe, they are our friends. First of all, you should learn about how the microorganisms are useful for us. Usefulness of microbes. First of all, due to the microbes, we get fermentation. Fermentation is the process through which we convert, break down carbohydrate to form acid or alcohol. Due to the microorganism, carbohydrate present in our food or elsewhere, they convert into the alcohol or acid, which carbonic oxide is called fermentation. Fermentation is the process in which microbes break down carbohydrates to form acid or alcohol, and carbon dioxide is called fermentation. So first, due to the microbes, fermentation. If microbes will not be present, we cannot get the alcohol, we cannot get the curd from the milk. After that, lactose. Milk contains a kind of sugar called lactose, and this lactose is due to that lactobacillus microorganism, so that we get curd from milk. Due to that, so this is the bacteria through which we are getting the lactobacillus. After that, antibiotics. It plays very vital role in order to treat the sickness of the living organism. So microorganisms like fungi and bacteria are used to prepare medicine, is called antibiotics, so that it treats diseases in human, animal and even in plant. First, antibiotics, penicillin. penicillin. After that, it is the most popular, firstly invented antibiotics, which is used for preventing or damaging the foreign invader enter into our body, and was discovered by Alexander Fleming. This penicillin firstly invented by Alexander Fleming, and some other antibiotics are streptomycin and terramycin. Streptomycin and terramycin, penicillin, streptomycin and terramycin, most popularly and most widely used around the world, and this is because of the microbes. And after that, antibody. When any microorganism enters our body produces specific substances. When any foreign body enters to our body releases a specific substances that called antibodies, which helps to destroy the microbes, which automatically, it is because of the immunosystem. Our immunosystem work only on the basis of bacteria, only on basis of microbes, their usefulness of microbes, because in our body already the antibodies are present. If any foreign invaders enter to our body releases some kinds of bacteria which fight with that foreign invaders and cure our body. After that, vaccine. Different types of vaccines are taken over the substances that given to protect an individual from disease, and it is the cause. It is taken on the basis of action of microbes. After that, in plant, nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. You have learned that all the pulses plant, in their roots, rhizobium bacteria are present that collect the nitrogen available in the environment or as well as in the soil and fixed into the root of pulses plant, through which they get into the pulses grains and from which we are getting them. After that, some decomposers are there, some decomposers that decompose that same nitrogens by the action of their own and mixed into the soil, and again the plant absorbs them, and this process, this cycle continues for a long time. After that, you should learn about that pathogen. Pathogen, all the bacteria, all the microbes are not harmful. So only disease caused microbes are called pathogens. Disease caused microbes are called pathogen. Diseases cause germs, and diseases are, we should learn, the word disease, dismissal of each. Dismissal of each means disarrangement of any of our internal function of the body cause disease. Diseases are basically of two types, communicable or non-communicable. Communicable diseases are those diseases that transmitted from one body to another body or through the different mode of media like air, water, food contact, others, etc. And so that they are spreading very widely. Just we are facing the COVID-19, they are the communicable disease, and very widely spread common cold, chicken pox, etc. are the communicable diseases. And non-communicable diseases are those diseases that cannot transmit it from one body to another body, such that heart problem, cancer, and other problems that found inside the body and that cannot be transmitted through different mode of the media. For that, we should take care about this disease or through the pathogens. Just we have learned that microbes are available everywhere, in every places, and thereafter it is naturally to fall sick due to the infections of microbes. So prevention is better than cure, you have learned, and so for preventive measures, we should take care about all that. First, fresh air to be breathed. We should get up early in the morning. You know that in the morning time we only can get the fresh air. So we should take the fresh air to be breathed. For that you should get up early in the morning 1.5 hours before the sunrise. Second is that fresh water to be drink. You know that most of our diseases caused due to the variation of water content in the body. And water plays very vital role for our usual and common and healthy survival. Therefore, we should take care about our intake of water. Water should be free from any kind of germs. We have learned that water is colorless, odorless and tasteless. So any kind of colorful water, any kind of tasteful water and any kind of smellful water is harmful for our body. So we should always try to take the fresh water, and fresh water is that which is free from any kind of impurities as well as germs. Third one is that balanced diet. It is not necessary to take the food very costly. Low cost food have also contained almost all nutrients, and right amount of the nutrients at right quantity is called the balanced diet. So we have learned that food help us to grow, get up energy, and also prevent us from being sick or stay healthy for a long time. So we should take care about our food habits, and we should be regulate almost all the balanced diet every day. Fourth one is there personal hygiene. Personal you know that most of the microbes are present into the dirty and wastage product thrown randomly elsewhere, and after that they grown. So we should be clean always in our body parts, our bed sheet, our clothes, our houses, our surroundings, our communities, our whole society must be clean. With help of this, we should maintain the rules of personal hygiene. After that, regular, moderate exercise. Dear student, you should learn that we are bathing that cleans our external skin, but exercise regulates our internal exercise, internal bathing, and therefore we should take regular exercise. Besides this, we should take care about that. We should perform our all activity in time. We should take rest, sleep and recreation. We should have the knowledge about the diseases, their symptoms, their mode of occupation, their mode of transmission, and their preventive measures. After that, we should also take care about ourselves. If we are eating too much delicious food and not growing, if we are eating too much food and not excreting at the ratio of that eating, we are drinking too much water and we should not excrete that urine. We are taking too much exercise, but our body growth is not properly. We should watch. We should watch the color of urine. We should watch our color of stool. We should watch our digestive systems, what we have it. So watch yourself in order to be healthy and to prevent ourselves from the microbes. Now, these are the usefulness of microbes and how can we prevent ourselves from the being sickness and different types of communicable diseases. After that, some causes of harmful effect of microbes are there. You know that, just I told that diseases caused in different types of plants, animals and human beings also. After that, food spoilage, which also caused. You have cooked the food or left out at night or day in morning and at evening during the winter season, during the summer season, our food prepared, cooked food become dirty, become spoilage. It is because of the microorganism. After that, food preservation. We should prevent the food from being spoiled or damaged by the action of microbes. So we should use some different technique are there. How can we prevent our food from infections of microbes? Dehydration is there. Dehydration, the process of drying moisture from food. For that, we are just the wheat we have harvested, that we should be sprayed into the surface or in the sunny places, and that sun heat moistures, right off the moistures from the food grains, and we can store, they can store for long term. That is the dehydration. It can be transmitted called dehydration. After that, heating. Some process of food preservation as heating, like milk. If we will keep the milk for a long time without boiling, it becomes stored, it becomes sour, and their microbes grown in more and they damage. So we should heat some materials. Some heating materials are there, like milk we can take, and after that some food items we can take, and boil and certain temperature. After boiling some certain temperature, we can keep it for storage. After that, refrigeration. So refrigeration or freezing also can be. After that, pasteurization is also the process for keeping the food items preservation. In this way, the milk or like materials is heated up to 70 degrees centigrade, and then rapidly in 30 seconds it is come in quick cooled and stored. It is called pasteurization. After that, preservatives. We use some preservatives nowadays. Mangoes are saved for a long time by adding salt in them, and some other materials we keep. Sodium thiosulfate, salt and other chemicals are used to store food, and that used for long time called preservatives. After that, osmosis is there. Osmosis, salt check the growth of bacteria and is used to preserve which facing microorganism to lose water, which is called osmosis. And canning, the process of enclosing food items in the enclosing in can and seal and heated to 120 degrees centigrade, which kills microbes, called canning. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks for watching this video.